In the racing category, the Gordon Murray T.50s is absolutely the best option. If racing at the highest level is your goal, you shouldn't even think twice about using it, because although some of the other cars can keep up with it in some situations, they can't keep up with it in all situations. Unfortunately for the players, that means the racing category can get a little stale pretty quickly. So I put a list together of my favorite racing cars not named T.50s. Let's go! Real quick before we get into it, if you're looking for any of my Motorfest tunes, go to militiagamingco.com, click on Motorfest tools from the top, and there you will see my tunes. All right, at number 5, we've got the 458 Italia GT2. Talk about a blast from the past. The 458 Italia is a car that nearly everyone was using when Motorfest launched. It was the king of the hill for about 2 to 3 weeks as we all found our footing in the game. It handles basically every situation with above average competency. It has good acceleration at 2.7 seconds for 0 to 60, respectable braking distance of 16.8, and a very good lateral G-stat of 1.53. With the right tune on it, it carries speed through corners well and has good NOS power. It almost feels effortless to drive sometimes because of how user-friendly it is in the stability department, and it tests at number 2 on my test course staying ahead. Its one weakness, and this is the reason why it finds itself at number 5, is its understeer. Now don't get me wrong, it doesn't understeer as much as all of the other cars in the class, but it understeers more compared to the cars above it on this list. At number 4, we've got the Expo Experience Red Bull Ring Racing. This Expo is new for Season 6, and it came in with a bang. It might just be my favorite new car in over 2 seasons. It handles basically everything you throw at it with ease, and it has top-notch NOS power, which helps you with driving errors. It boasts a 0 to 60 similar to the 458 of 2.8 seconds, an insane braking distance of 14.9, and a very good lateral G-stat of 1.45, which by the way is worse than the 458, but it still understeers less for some reason. Its main issue is top speed, as it tends to feel a little bit like a go-kart at times. Aside from that, it is very nice to drive. I highly recommend you give this a go. At number 3, we've got the Electric R. The Electric R is absolutely unreal. It's got the fastest acceleration time in the class of 2.1, which means it sort of follows the trend that most electric cars do in Motorfest, which means it doesn't have the top end speed. What it does have is cornering and lateral G. It's the same lateral G-stat as the T50, and it feels like it. It handles beautifully, and on the right course with a lot of hairpins, it can definitely hold its own. Its weakness is definitely the top speed and braking distance, and it really doesn't gutter that well. 15.5 is definitely not a bad braking distance, but the car doesn't feel like that. It has the classic electric car heaviness to it, which means it doesn't want to gutter and it doesn't want to brake. That being said, it really does shine in sort of that mid-speed range of racing. It's like not super slow where there's all kinds of hairpins, but also not super fast where it's just highways. It needs some turns in order to stretch its legs a little bit. At number 2, we've got the Gallardo Super Trofeo. This is the forgotten car. I rarely see this car in the grand races unless it's a highway route, mostly because the T50 is so dominant, but also because I think people forgot how good it is all around. Honestly, if you put a very slightly worse driver in the T50, this car absolutely has the ability to not only keep up, but win. This was one of the first cars we all gravitated to when the game first came out, so it's kind of crazy that after all this time, it still has a firm place in the Grand Race meta. I would use this Gallardo Super Trofeo on any highway route, as it is one of the highest top speeds in the class, and it sacrifices almost nothing in the handling and acceleration departments. It's tied with the Electric R for the best 0 to 60 in the class at 2.1. Its weakness, though, is the power in the middle to the top of the gearbox. So it takes a lot longer to get up to speed, and you may need to be a little bit more intentional with your NOS usage. Aside from that, it's an absolute stud. And finally at number 1, the Camaro SS. The Camaro SS was found very early on and is still to this day the second fastest racing car in the class, if you know how to handle it. It's got a very distinct handling profile and turn-in that makes it a bit different than any other car in the class. It also has pretty slow acceleration, but because of its super high lateral G-stat, it can be a beast in literally every corner, and even more so than the T50. It takes a particular individual to learn the car well enough to drive it at its full potential, but once you understand it, you will dominate anything not named T50. The major weakness is its acceleration from a dead stop. Oftentimes when I use it at the beginning of a race, I get stuck in the mid pack, so I recommend using it when it's the second or third class in the race. Now don't leave just yet, I have a few honorable mentions that nearly made the list, and there are probably more that I'm not thinking about, so make sure you leave your favorite racing cars in the comments for others to discover. The two cars I'd like to mention here are the Murcielago and the 488 GT3 AF Corsa. The 488 was introduced with Season 6 and the Murcielago has been around for a while, but these cars are a little bit under the radar. Both ran insane times on my test courses and are definitely good to use in the grand races. The Murcielago ran a 2:36, which is 1 second behind the T.50, and the 488 ran a 2:37. Anyways, I hope this helps you in your car choices in the grand races. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to send me a DM on Instagram or Discord. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you on the next one. Trigger out.